since the move to the ACC was announced, you've been talking about what a ridiculously difficult conference this is. How's it feel to be 1-0?
It feels great. It is still a ridiculously tough conference, but it feels great. You know, we did what we needed to do tonight against a good team. So it's great. Historic win, ACC, first win in the ACC. It feels great.
Do you celebrate this one differently than a non-milestone win?
No, not one bit. It's the same as the question of, are you excited for the ACC? What are you doing differently? I keep saying the process is the same. We've been a good team that play good opponents, Power 5, now Power 4 opponents in the non-conference. We've had a lot of wins, and we need to remember that, yeah, we have that experience and that we have a good team and that we keep doing what we do and we keep getting better each week and not make too much about the opponent or the conference. I mean, again, we've had good teams in the American, right, in the past, and teams that are ranked. And so no conference is easy. This is a very, very deep and talented conference, but we focus on us and what we try to do and our principles of play.
Can we talk about the difference in the two halves? Maybe the first 10 minutes, it seemed like there were a lot of maybe nervous giveaways by your team. And maybe they are nervous to play in this new conference. The second half looked like a completely different team. What led to that contrast, do you think?
Yeah, I heard you guys ask the girls this. I'm not sure I agree. Like, we were early in the game. We were, yes, a little bit on our heels, and it looked a little nervous, but I think it's also that we've had a couple of tough games, and so they're just trying to settle into playing a good game again. But I thought, coming out of the first half, I thought the second part of the first half, we were good. We settled down and we were playing, and at halftime, we showed them a lot of good. Because we knew it was going to take 90 minutes, and there had been a lot of good in the first half.
I think, what I was trying to get to, I think more than anything, is maybe, obviously, this team's capable. Maybe they needed to remember that with some of the good moments.
Yeah, and I think as soon as we had some good attacking chances in the second half, then there was even more just kind of flow back to the offense. They were good in the second half for sure. I felt like it was a pretty complete performance. Even the goal, we just got tangled up and it was a penalty. We didn't give up. I didn't think a lot in the second half defensively. So they were a little more organized on some things, on the longer ball and the organization around that defensively. But overall, a pretty complete game for them. Now it's the consistency with it.
What does it say about the quality of goals you guys were able to score tonight? They weren't cheap goals by any measure. That they were real quality.
Yeah, and there were a number of other really quality goal-scoring chances with good saves on their part and post and crossbar. And so it's this attack when they're clicking and they're collective. There are a lot of pieces to it, and we've kind of said that from the beginning. Now it's great to see them do it against a good team.
Your team scores 4 against a Syracuse team and a goalie who's only given up 3 in 8 games. Did you learn anything new about your offense, or did they surprise you in any way?
Well, it's we're young. There's been a lot of changes, and so the consistency is. I see them every day. I know what they're capable of. It's just, will we show up and be consistent with playing to our potential in the attack is the question.
All right, it's easy to talk about all your goal scorers when you have 4 goals, but on the other end, the only goal that Syracuse got was on a penalty kick. What did you think of Sierra and the defensive unit in their performance tonight? Really
good. They keep getting better. It was, having an off game on Sunday and being able to get – it's the first weekend we hadn't had 2 games since, Mayu's injury. So having time to train with them and have a couple of good sessions. And I thought Abby stepped in as a captain, as a senior, and has really helped settle it and organize it. Haley keeps getting better every week. Sophie is she's pretty consistent with what you get from her, and Mara and Paxton continue to to do a good job. And then, Mackenzie and Lydia as the sixes, having Lydia back in the midfield was nice too.
You talked before the game about having her as a connection, Lydia, between your back line and attacking, and in my mind, she had more chances in this game, probably offensively, maybe even to score than she has. Was that something you were trying to do today, or something she just kind of took the game into her own hands a couple of times because she had that opportunity?
Well, I think it kind of goes back to your question earlier and your point earlier with like us being kind of frazzled early in the game. Syracuse did a really good job pressing us, and so we were having to play longer. They were pretty intense with the press and that front five, so it was bypassing her on the build a lot, and then one of the two, her and Mackenzie, were obviously getting up to support the attack, and so yeah, she ended up being higher up the field than she generally is. I think she was excited to be back in the midfield too.
You mentioned the defensive play, that save, you then score the second goal right after it. How much did that kind of spark them, especially knowing that Syracuse was going to try and make a push to start the second half to kind of have the big save and then right into then a 2-goal lead?
It was huge. It was huge. And again, we're really focused on our organization defensively. And that's not just with the back line and the sixes, it's with our forwards. Like, that's where Liz and Emma and E has, really done a great job defending. So it's a group, effort on the defensive side of the ball. And so I think they keep growing. But, yeah, it's huge to get the second after a momentum. What could have shifted the momentum for a while and been, uncomfortable for a while, that it settles it back down and shifts it back to us. It's a game of momentum shifts, and how they respond to it is huge.
You talked about not having 2 games this week, having a little time to train. Now you don't, other than getting your players off their feet.
Mm-hmm. What
do you do between now and Sunday to get ready for BC?
The same that we do between 2 games. Recover, right? Stick with our routine. We've got a great staff and sports science group that I think they've got this pretty honed in, as much as you can with 2 games on a weekend, and the sport being what it is, and women's soccer and the college game. So it's good. We were able to rest some, and we'll probably have some additions back on Sunday, so it'll be good.
How big is, you mentioned consistency, but them just being able to take from this and just bring it right back into Sunday?
It's big, right? I mean, that's the difference with this league, is it is week in and week out. And not that any game is ever easy, but every week is a big challenge. So, yeah, well, I'm excited to see how they respond on Sunday. But they've been great again, I've said this a lot of times. They care a ton. They care about getting better. They're not satisfied ever. So I think that they'll be up for it.
I know you said there are no easy games, but when you look at your schedule and there is, I think, each of the top 3 teams in the country, does that put a bigger emphasis when you're not playing one of those top-ranked teams? Does the result mean more?
Well, you got to get as many wins as you can get, right? And again, it's a game of inches, and there are upsets all the time, and we like being the underdog sometimes. But there's a lot of parity in the sport, so we hope to pull off some big ones. But at the same time, yes, getting the wins that you feel like are games that are very winnable are really important.
Ever since she walked on campus, Emma Albort's speed has been obvious. I'm wondering if her second goal tonight was a reflection of her growth as a player, because it looked like she ran past a defender, goalie comes out at her, and then she sort of took a little off and picked the corner rather than just winding up and blasting it, hoping to find the net. What have you seen as far as her evolution from someone who's got great speed into a more well-rounded player?
It's a great observation. She's grown a ton on the attack, at both sides of the ball, but as she said, she's been working a lot on her ball striking and composure in front of goal, and she gets in. she's going to get in a lot with her speed. So she's getting better and better, you know, and she has the ability, I think, to score goals, but she's definitely going to get in behind. So the composure, the growth, and it's a testament to the work she's put in.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.